Right, so as you can see, we're in Sheffield today, Sheffield United. Just having a little whiz round at the ground, one of the older grounds in the country, 1855 I believe. Currently got a capacity of about 32,000. It's been an old ground in a sort of residential area, as you can see, like they used to be, and they've done it up over the years. So we'll just have a little walk round and see what's what. So Bramall Lane actually is named after a family who were called Bramall, and they were sort of wealthy people, and the name comes from that basically, which is because it's actually not on. That's where the street name was originated from. So you can kind of see all these, terraced houses, little entry points across the way there. And this is how, or where the traditional football grounds tended to be, in residential areas. Obviously when they get built new now, they tend to be on the edge of town. But so this is John Street, and this is known as the John Street stand. So again, you can kind of see surrounded by sort of terraced housing. This has been rebuilt over the years, you can see. I think there's possibly been a couple of rebuilds over the years anyway. But it's not a bad stadium now, I don't think. Befitting of a strong championship team and, and a team that's had spells in the Premier League as well. So it's pretty quiet today. Wednesday morning. Not much happening. Sheffield United in the playoffs. Still to come. DSM family stand. I think it's traditionally known as John Street. Again, pub on the corner there, that was always a staple on it of the old style football grounds where people could have a pint before and after a game. So this is the Cricketers' Arms, and one of the old landlords was a guy called Billy Whitehurst, who's well-known Sheffield United, Hull City, Newcastle, Reading, Oxford player. Tough guy. I don't think too many people had messed around in there when Billy was the landlord. So now obviously Bramall Lane was a cricket ground originally, hence the Cricketers' Arms. So this stand we can see now is actually the one behind the goal. John Street runs down the side. Bit of a busier road, this one. But anyway, yeah, the Cricketers' Arms was obviously in recognition of the fact that it used to be a cricket ground before it was a football ground, and was actually a three-sided ground for a lot of years. And then as we get round the corner, that stand was added on. So Yorkshire played here for quite a lot of years. County games, there's been one or two test things happening over here in the past, but I think it was a pretty well regarded cricket ground, and I think Jeff Boycott and people like that have always spoke of it affectionately in terms of when they played there for Yorkshire. So this is where the away fans come. As you can see, sort of bit of light industry, and still bits of housing the other side of there. But they've added a hotel on it here, which again has been added in more recent times. We'll whiz across. So again, another pub on this corner. That was often a fairly common thing. You'd get a few pubs in close proximity to the football stadium. Obviously all home supporter themed and home fans only. That's pretty normal. So this is Cherry Street now. So again, this was the where it was open-ended when they played cricket. You can see there, get a bit of a closer look at that. Different Sheffield United legends on the wall there. So you can see the hotel there, that was a bit of an add-on. So I think one of the more traditional, you know, clubs of the English game, without a doubt. A couple of statues here, we'll have a look at them. So this is the main entrance. So this is Joe Shaw, record appearances, 714. Some service to the club, that. And then this guy's Derek Dooley. Chairman and chief exec, I think, for some years. And then was a Sheffield Wednesday player who actually had his leg removed. He broke his leg and it ended up, I think he got some fertiliser or something like that actually got into the wound, and he actually had to have his leg removed. And I don't think Sheffield Wednesday particularly treated him fantastically well, and he ended up here, and obviously became a United legend for his troubles. So again, nice little view there, and then we're coming back. So a few memorial bricks there, and that's obviously that's the stand behind the goal from where we just arrived. So Shoreham Street is the next one again. Bit of food after the game there. You just get a sort of a sense of it being an old ground that they've kind of improved over the years. I kind of prefer these kind of grounds rather than the modern stadium, you know, where they're a bit soulless and they all kind of look the same. Even though they might be a bit more architecturally pleasing. So as you can see, we're just sort of coming back to where we started. There's Sheffield City Centre in the background. It's only about a 10-minute walk into the city centre from here. Well, that's the stand behind the goal. So we've done a full 360 pretty much. So there you go, that was Sheffield United, Bramall Lane, one of the traditional grounds. All the best, cheers.